So, picture this. You're a wizard trapped deep down in a cave with no spell slots remaining for anything meaningful. And there's a giant cave monster thing in front of you.
Happens all the time.
What do you do? First action, use a cantrip, cast guidance on yourself. You get a small attack bonus for this loaded crossbow you have ready in your other hand. Second action, fire. Bury a bolt deep inside this monster's hide, hopefully. But almost certainly not killing it. We don't want it to kill us back, so third action, probably defensive. You can use a second cantrip for shield to put a small ward up in front of yourself. Get a little bonus to armor class. And second thought, if we're this close, maybe we just use the first action to move our speed 25 feet away.
That's safer, yeah.
Use the second action to continue moving away, and then we can use the third action to keep on just moving away.
Maximum safety. And that's why the 3-action system is the best thing about Pathfinder 2. And so the great thing about this is it's such a variety of actions that you can do.
Right.
I mean, you can do physical actions, you can try to grab someone, shove them, trip them, aside from just moving around the battlefield or swinging at something with your sword.
And that doesn't take any training. That doesn't take any investment. Nobody needs to spend feats or resources to do that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just one of the things that is an option. At all times, just passively throughout combat. You got things like feinting an enemy to try and make it easier to hit them, or opportunities like intimidating someone to try and frighten them and lower basically all of their offenses and defenses briefly.
And there's so many skills that interact with these actions that, so if you invested in them, you just feel so good about being able to use them in the middle of a fight. My social skills become useful.
But it doesn't get stuck in that pigeonhole where your character is only good at the one or two things that you're really specialized in doing. Sure, you'll be better at those things, but everyone is at least passively competent in a wide array of different approaches to combat, different styles.
Oh, sure. Like, if you have hands and a brain, you can do these
You
things.
right at the ground floor, you can do these things. First level. So you got 3 actions that are totally open about what you can do with them. And one thing that really brings out in this game is mobility. You get into combat, you're not stuck in the trenches in these fighting lines throwing attacks at each other. You have so much more freedom to move about the battlefield turn by turn.
Oh, and it just makes for such a much more dynamic game. I mean, your board situation is never the same from turn to turn. You can go, I mean, obviously you could stand in a line if you wanted to, but it's way...
stopping you. You could also just attack 3 times.
You could, absolutely. But, it really lets you, like, try to roll a flank to get around an enemy line, try to setting up flanking attacks on enemies to really improve your chances of hitting them, or keep yourself safe to get away, reposition. It's so much quicker.
They have a great action baseline one I really like, which is stepping. That moves you a single tile but doesn't provoke any kind of reactions, but only it's a single one of your actions, so it doesn't monopolize your turn like these kind of withdrawals or disengages have in some systems in the past.
Right, yeah, no, exactly. And so you can kind of keep the mobility up by also keeping yourself safe, and it really makes it very tactical and a lot more engaging.
It's just so open.
And so that's the great thing about this 3-action system, is that you can actually, it gives you so many opportunities to actually play with it, to create really interesting situations. So like we could take like a power attack feat, where it takes 2 of your actions to make 1 attack, but you get a whole bunch of extra damage with it.
The opposite, a monk. Flurry of Blows is a single action that lets you pop somebody twice and
for only one
little
action.
Space. Yeah,
which creates really great opportunities to go and weave it in with your movement to get to a good position to be able to spring those 2 attacks on somebody.
It opens the whole system up, and I think nothing highlights that better, really, than some of these spells that have multiple action casts. Heal, for instance. Basic as they come. You can put 1 action into it. It's a simple touch and a small heal. 2 actions, a huge heal with range. And 3 actions, it's an AoE, hitting everybody in 30 feet.
Or just on a more simpler level, like the magic missile spell, right? Every action you spend, you charge it up, and you get more magic missiles going in.
It's just more missiles.
It's great. It's perfect.
And you can play with the system itself with a lot of the conditions, like haste. Getting quickened gives you more actions to play with. Slowing or stunning enemies, or getting slowed or stunned, reduces your actions from 3 to 2 or 1.
Makes it way more interesting.
So it comes to your turn in combat. You get 3 actions and then 1 reaction to do whatever you want with over the turn.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that my favorite thing about this is just how dynamic the game becomes. You can move everywhere. The game never stays the same from turn to turn.
It's fluid.
It's super fluid. I'm a wargamer at heart. I love how the game repositions and how many tactical options you have.
The tactical options, that is exactly what I like about it. I don't think there is another comparable system out there where you can build a character at level 1, even like John McFighter, who just walks out with a sword and shield, world and has so many different things that he can do that are good. Not just to be silly, or it's, I guess, technically an option, that are useful.
Right.
Every turn.
And that's why the 3-action system is the best thing about Pathfinder 2.
Hey everyone, Squiddish here, producer of the 2 Perception Show. Trying something new with this series, so let us know down below what else you want to see 3 actions about. Got a whole bunch of Pathfinder content and live plays on the channel, so if you like that and want to see more, subscribe to the channel and check out the links down below.